Today on the Daily Meditation, we will be discussing self-inquiry meditation, one of the most powerful forms of meditation in the world. Remember to subscribe. I'd like to start with a story. This story is about a little ball of energy called consciousness. Consciousness came into this world naked, empty, with nothing. The one thing that consciousness seemed to be able to do was to perceive the world around it. Now, consciousness liked this. Consciousness enjoyed perceiving the world around it. But there was one thing it longed for more than anything. It longed to see itself. Looking outwards, it couldn't see itself. And so, as consciousness journeyed through life, it began to develop a sense of identity. Consciousness noticed that it was born in a big house, much bigger than the average house. And so consciousness said, I am a rich person. Consciousness experienced success at school. And so consciousness said, I am an intelligent person. But consciousness also never seemed to fit in, always felt alone. And so consciousness said, I am a lonely person. Now, consciousness was okay with this, being a rich, intelligent, but lonely person. Because although being lonely wasn't great, that sense of identity as a rich, intelligent, lonely person gave consciousness what it craved the most, a sense of identity, the ability to see itself, to say, there, that's me. I exist, I'm real, I'm part of this world. And so consciousness never really challenged that lonely aspect of its identity. It clinged on to its identity for proof of its own existence. Many years later in life, consciousness stopped looking outwards and started to look inwards. And as consciousness looked inwards, it noticed this energy within, this pure, naked energy inside itself. And it began to focus on that energy. And as it focused on that energy, on that true version of itself, it realized, I don't need this self-created identity as a rich, intelligent, lonely person. I don't need that to exist. Now I can see that I exist as this pure form of energy. So what the heck has that got to do with self-inquiry meditation? Well, self-inquiry meditation is all about returning your mind to its innermost point. It's about letting go of identity. Now, identity is something that really holds a lot of us back. Some people are really unhappy with their identity. Most people are, kind of okay with their identity, but there are bits and pieces that they would like to change, but they don't. They cling on to their identity because they think, that's me. That's who I am. This is what I must be. This is my existence. But clinging on in that way is an attachment that inhibits you. Because if you're too attached to being one form of identity, it prevents you from becoming something else. Thankfully, we can overcome all of that. We can overcome all of that by practicing self-inquiry meditation. So let me show you how to do it. So to begin with, we're just going to sit, making sure that the spine is straight, chin slightly tucked down, just slightly to elongate the spine. feet planted squarely on the ground. Now I'm going to keep my eyes open, but if you're doing this at home, then just continue to practice with your eyes closed. I'm just going to give you the brief instructions and then you can practice at home as you like. So when we're doing self-inquiry meditation, we start, as we often start in meditation, by just focusing on the breath to, balance cortisol, balance noradrenaline, promote the parasympathetic nervous system, start to feel relaxed, calm, and focused. So again, if you're doing this at home, you probably want to do that breathing meditation for at least kind of 5 minutes. Now, once you're calm and focused, you're going to begin to recite I am in your mind. I am. Now, what you want to do is focus your mind on the part of the mind from which the words I am arise. So you're going to observe how that thought, I am, how it comes up, where does it arise from? And you're going to keep observing that for 5 to 10 minutes. Now what you're going to find is that the thought, I am, comes out of nowhere. It's an emptiness. Once you find that emptiness, meditate on it for as long as you like. Not only is this going to be incredibly relaxing, but you'll be focusing your mind on the purest, most naked, most central part of your existence, your pure consciousness. And in self-inquiry, we focus on that and identify with it. Because like consciousness at the beginning of this story, we want to get to the point where we no longer need to live in our self-imposed prison, this self-imposed prison that is our identity, that we maintain, that we grip onto, simply because it confirms our own existence. We're going to let go of that and instead focus on the purest part of our consciousness, on that pure naked energy. And you're going to want to do that for probably 25 to 30 minutes. Self-inquiry is quite a lengthy meditation. It does really take a bit of time to get to that point where you can stop and say, hey, this point of pure naked energy, this is what I truly am. I don't need that identity that I've given myself. I am this pure energy. And so that is self-inquiry meditation. Now, there are a lot of benefits of self-inquiry meditation. In fact, many experts suggest that self-inquiry is the single most powerful form of meditation in the world. And I agree with that a bit. I think there's other techniques that are probably equally as powerful, but definitely self-inquiry is right up there. So why is it so powerful? Well, for starters, when you focus, when you become aware, and when you identify with that purest form of consciousness inside yourself, you no longer need everything else. You don't need to think, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. You don't have this self-imposing form of identity, which holds you back. Because if you believe, just for instance, if you believe I'm a stupid person, as long as you believe you're a stupid person, you're never going to be an intelligent person. So you need to get rid of that identity that you've created, or at least parts of it, in order to develop something else. And so what self-inquiry does, it releases us from our self-created view of ourselves. We all have a view of ourselves and it's completely delusional. It's something that we created in our minds, but we live by it. So when you let go of that, you become free to be and do whatever you choose. And as a knock-on to that, because it lets go of your identity, it's also going to massively reduce any kind of negative thoughts that you have about yourself, any negative self-belief, anything like that, any anything that involves you thinking badly about yourself, it's going to get rid of. It's also going to massively reduce anxiety and stress, because a lot of our stress and our anxiety is created by the idea that we have to be something, we have to do this, that, and the other. And when you realize, hey, I'm actually just this kind of pure energy, so I don't really have to do anything, it's pretty darned relaxing. Anyway, that is my look at self-inquiry meditation. Thank you very much for subscribing and for watching. I said subscribe in the wrong bit. Remember to subscribe. If you would like to book a private meditation lesson with me, you may do so on thedailymeditation.com. Until next time, stay zen-sational.